Hello and welcome to the YBMB Show. And today is Monday, so it would have been about May or June last year, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started the program in June, on the 17th of June. I'll never forget the date. And you're right. I was in March. I turned 39, and that was a really big, milestone birthday that was coming up for me. My father passed away when he was 39, very suddenly. He had an aortic aneurysm, so basically his heart just sort of exploded at the age of 39. So he was there one day, gone the next. And, he was a hard worker. He worked, long hours like I do. And I think for me, it was just this sort of, I just didn't want to leave my son at 39. And I just felt I wasn't done with life yet. And it's just been this number this age that's been in my mind for the last couple of years. And there's nothing wrong with me. There was no reason I should have left at the age of 39, but I just wanted to be in the best fighting position I could be in to make sure that 39 was not the last year of my life like it was for my father, and that it was actually sort of maybe a springboard to a newer and better chapter for my life. And so that was really the drive for me, just to kind of pull it all together and be like, okay, I've achieved so many things now. I just really want to pull it together and be healthy and happy and fit.
And you had, you were very well read, even when we met, in terms of sort of fitness and longevity, and you'd tried quite a lot of things, different programs, etc. And but I know that at that point, we'll come on to sort of weight loss in a minute, because you did lose an astounding amount of weight as well. I think it surprised you, didn't it? But I know you tried a few things before, and you'd sort of your weight had gone up and down. And you'd had this illustrious career already, and you were about to start a new job, so you had a lot on your plate at that time. So what was it that attracted you to YBMB, and what else had you been looking at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing about your program, Angela, apart from you, and I'll come on to that, but is the 3-in-1 aspect, that you really pull the body, mind, and business aspects into one. So it's like having a personal trainer, a business coach, and a life coach wrapped into one. I mean, and the value add you get from the program, I think is what I always try to explain to people is it's just incredible, and I think the way you bring it all together, and it just kind of the penny dropped for me as to how interconnected all of that is. And I think what I had neglected over the years is, because I'm so disciplined and I have this incredible amount of stamina and very high threshold for pain and just going for it, I didn't realize how much wellness or sleep and just taking care of your mind and your body actually plays in your business, or in your relationships and everything like that. So everything just really kind of is interconnected. And I think I was just looking for things and dabbling in things, and then you just kind of pull it all together into one program, which for busy people like me is the best, because it's all there. And then you can do deeper dives into things that resonate in particular with you, but it just was all in one place. So that really resonated with me. And when I watched your initial webinar, I just not to sound creepy, but I fell in love with you. Like, I just thought your transformation at your age was so incredibly inspiring. The fact that you had a corporate job, you weren't some 22-year-old on Instagram, all day long kind of thing. It was like you were a real person, with real struggles. You were a mom, you've had 2 kids, and I just connected with you, and I felt all through this process that, like, had I met you at a party or something, that you would be someone I'd want to be friends with. And that's really kind of what it feels like. Every engagement with you just feels like we're friends, and you treat your clients like they're close to you, your friends. So everything about my life, you know everything. And it's just, I think, having that personal connection, and the personal connection you and your team bring to the program, for me, has stood out from everything else that I've ever tried or done. And on the diet front, I've done everything. I've done the keto, I've done paleo, I've done celery and water, I've done Cambridge, and Cambridge is probably the one that I was probably most successful on, because I'm so disciplined. I can stick to a low calorie diet for quite some time, but what happens is once you kind of go off the meal replacements, and back to your real life, and the weight comes back on because you haven't really changed, the way you eat or the choices you make. And so I think what I really enjoyed the most about YBMB is that it's never felt like a diet, physically, at least for the body part of it. And we've had nourishment in all respects, not just, learning what to eat, but from our minds and everything. And it's just the way it's all come together for me, I think, is that's just what has had, maximum impact. The fact that you made us track stuff, everyone kind of struggles with it in the beginning because it is quite a lot to do, but it just makes so much sense. And then you just having that data, that constant data, allows you to really see things and understand your own habits and what you can tweak or where you might be going wrong. I remember the beginning when we were talking about my smoothies, and here I am thinking I'm having a super healthy smoothie, but meanwhile, my carbs, it was like my whole carb intake for the day. So it really just helped me kind of make better choices. And I really liked how you were very deliberate and not telling us what to eat, which I think is really key. You kind of left us to sort of struggle with it on our own, but we had to find a way of opening the fridge or opening the pantry in a way, and stick to our macros. And that's a bit of a learning process. But I think once we all kind of cracked that, then it's really kind of plain sailing, and you could just see it work, and for me, once I could see it work and there was that system, and I'm quite data driven, very structured, it just absolutely resonated with me. And then working with your team has been a real true pleasure.
Oh, I've lost you for a second. You still there? Can you still hear me? I think she's still there. Sabrina, have you got us both? Oh,
I can hear you
back now. Yeah, I've got you back now. I think I might have been my end. Can you hear? You can hear us both, yeah. Good. Well, thank you for that. I mean, there's a few things there that I'll pick up on, because I think the first thing is, you're one of these people that you mentioned that you're so disciplined and you will do whatever it takes, and so you'll work the hours, or you can stick on something like a Cambridge diet for a long time. So you're one of these people that it's not like you don't have motivation, it's not like you don't have discipline, and so still you were in this situation where your body wasn't as it could be, et cetera, et cetera. So and that sort of resonated with me, because that's exactly how I was when I did my own transformation as well. I was very much of the mindset up until I sort of discovered all the components of YBMB that anything is possible, and you just have to keep working and keep doing it, and eventually you'll get that result. And so in the end, especially on the business side, I was of the mind that I will keep doing it, and I will find this answer, and I will go on another business course. And I was very, very business orientated, and I think so much of it is belief as well, because I really believed that I bought into that whole thing that well, as you get a bit older, look, your body does deteriorate, of course it does, and so you have to put up with a bit of a mumsy belly, and your skin sort of goes a little bit, and and you just basically feel a bit tighter, and that's just what happens. And I sort of almost had believed that, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until I suddenly did my own physical transformation, well, number one, my whole body changed, and I literally couldn't believe it when I looked in the mirror. And I know you've had this experience, but what I also didn't realize as well was the impact that then has on your business. So I was doing all these things separately, working really, really hard, going on all these different business courses, trying to sort my body out as well. I'd done so much different cardio stuff, run marathons and things, and tried all sorts like I know you had. And then of course the whole mindset piece as well, because, and we'll come on to that, because once you've got the strategies for business, it's not the full answer, as we've just said. If you have the strategies for losing weight, it's not the full answer, as you've just said, for example, with Keto Cambridge. It's bringing them all together with and connecting them with the mindset piece, which makes the big difference. And I think, and we'll talk about that. And then the other thing, you mentioned we a few times, because for those people that don't know, when we first start you on YBMB, we start you as part of a group. And, the group that you started with, Ariel, that was a very new group. It was right, at the beginning of lockdown, or, 3 months into lockdown. It was an international group, all different ages. I think the oldest we had was age 67. The youngest was in her 30s, well, as you were as well. But I think people really bounced off each other, because it was like they were all learning to drive again. So they were all learning macros, and they were all learning all these things. So you could start to see people get results, and also see other people were struggling, and it was very helpful. So those were, I think, key components of the program as well. And I don't know what you think about those two things, but maybe we'll take the group aspect first. Tell me what you think about that, and then we'll talk about the mindset bit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I wasn't really someone who does sort of group things. I think, you know me, it's not, you know, quite private in that respect. And so that was new for me, but I actually really enjoyed it. And everyone was so actually, and it was really great to have that accountability, especially in the beginning when you know, we had to kind of post all of our stats and everything in our group and stuff. So it really actually works, and I think what I would say to people is that even if it's not your kind of thing, just do it, just go with it, because it works, and you might meet some nice people. And in fact, my house was, as you know, Angela, was recently flooded, and it turns out, you know, one of the ladies on the program is a flood specialist, and you know, was able to, you know, have a chat with her, and it was just, you know, really amazing to be able to do that and, you know, support each other even outside the program. So you know, I wouldn't, it was something I'd never done before, but I really enjoyed that aspect as well. And then you also get that one-to-one time with you, and my weekly check-ins with Annabelle, who's been great. And I'd actually really look forward to, you know, Friday afternoon chatting to Annabelle. I mean, the whole thing is fun. That's the thing I think you guys make about the program is, I never felt like I was on a diet, for one. And I have been on some really restrictive diets, so this was just fun, and you know, the mindset piece and learning about all of these aspects of personal development. I had started my journey before the YBMB thing, but you know, a lot of things I hadn't heard of or known about. So you're learning at the same time, and it was just fun, really. So I quite, you know, enjoyed my Wednesday evenings. You know, had that always blocked out in my diary. I don't think I've missed, you know, for someone as busy as me, I really haven't missed that many, and always there on for my workout. So it's been really enjoyable, and I think that's made it easier to stick to. And I think one of the things I often say to people as well, and I quote you all the time, is, you know, what gets measured gets done. So I think I really have applied that from the body system to my business, to even the mindset piece. You know, that has really resonated with me, and I've, you know, realized it works. I saw how it worked with my body, and it now works with everything else, and I apply that to all other aspects of my life. But also that consistency is key. So I mean, none of this is rocket science, you know, and I think what's different about this time for me is that A, it was pulled all together, but B, I was really forced to be consistent. It wasn't just, you know, a one-day seminar that I attended. You learn about stuff, you kind of hear things that you know, and then you kind of go back to your regular life. I think having the support group, you know, tracking and all that kind of stuff, and really sort of, you know, looking at things in seasons and you know, taking it week by week, really kind of, it was the ultimate immersion, and forced you to really kind of get behind the things you wanted to achieve on the program. And for me, that really worked in that respect, because I really had the time to invest in pushing all of that forward, and it became fun, and it became a way of life, and it changed my way of life.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing you said about the, you know, you are a private person, and some people are more private than others, and some people love Facebook, others are sort of, you know, they're not really on the grid as such, you know, they don't really want to do that. And so I think we found a way with the program to accommodate all of those, you know, those people that really want to be out there and share everything, and, you know, be very, very active on social media. Then we engage with them every day, you know, well, more than every day, you know, very frequently. And others that, you know, maybe they're a bit more private, they don't really want to sort of have all their pictures out and everything like that. They don't have to. You know, it is all very doable. And, you know, the consistency and the little and often is really, I think, the best approach. That's why we have the, you know, one call per week, and then we have a series of workouts, with one particular workout with me, you know, per week. But the other thing is that nearly the whole year you were spending overseas, because obviously we were locked down and you were with your family, and I think that demonstrates, you know, that you can actually do this remotely. I mean, we've only just met once, and only quite recently, even though that we felt like we'd known each other for ages. But yeah, it's very possible to do it remotely as well, which is a complete revelation, isn't it? So it's one of the good things about lockdown.
Absolutely. In fact, it gave me the space to actually really embrace all of it, to be honest. So, and it taught me that I can't use business trips as an excuse for not doing my workouts.
Yeah.
I think every time I see a wall, I think of you and a wall sit, you know, so there's always a way. And I think what I've learned is really to stop making excuses and, you know, always saying I was too busy or I don't have enough time. I realized it was that I wasn't actually willing enough to put me, you know, make time for me, and no more excuses about that. You know, once I saw what I could achieve, once I put my own self-care and myself back on my to-do list rather than everything else and everyone else, then, you know, I've achieved more in the past year than I think in recent years, and I'm really excited about kind of where I can go from here.
Yeah. I mean, it's been amazing what you've achieved. And anyone who's looking at this and seeing your arms, those muscular arms, well, they were actually built. I've seen, you know, you doing your bicep curls on an incline bench, which it wasn't actually an incline bench. It was your one of your sunbeds. So, you know, you don't need benches and stuff like that. You know, you can get this all done. And like I say, we'll show an after picture of Ariel later, and you'll be able to see sort of her amazing physique now. So, we've covered, you know, the interaction and able to do it from distance and the way we brought it all together. And just a couple of points. We talked about the body and macros and things, but on the mindset stuff, I call it the emotional gym. And the way that I break the program down is very much we tackle the body first, so people really sort of start to hit the ground running. And there's all those different aspects, which, as you say, they're not rocket science, but when you bring them together, how they have incredible quick results. But the mindset as well, where we started to address a regular routine with, you know, basically nurturing our mindset. How did you find that?
I mean, that was, for me, I think, was the missing piece in terms of my own journey. So because you know, I could follow a program for body, or I could follow a business plan. I knew my business goals, I knew my body goals, and I knew ways I could probably get there, but maybe lacked the consistency, or lacked, you know, a proper system that really resonated with me. But it's the mindset piece that I really just was completely underdeveloped in my own journey. And I've just learned so much from you on that front. And really that it really was it's the anchor of the business piece and the body piece. And the more I kind of delved into it, the more fascinated I've become with the whole mindset piece, and so grateful, because I've had, I think, in the past year, one of the most challenging years of my career. You know, a few days after starting YBMB, I started a new position. You know, I stepped into the role of partner. I wasn't partner in my previous firms. It was a new role at a new firm, completely virtually, in a really uncertain time of COVID, and, you know, kind of on my own now to try to build a practice and you know, be, you know, one of the few, and, you know, females who does what I do, and certainly the only Black female who does what I do. So, you know, it was a real kind of wow, you know, opportunity to step up, and I really wanted to grab it and just make a success of it. And I think all the mindset work we've done really kind of helped me build a resilience that enabled me to really deal with bumps in the road. And deal with a sort of unusual situation, given how, you know, stepping into the new role virtually in particular, that I don't think I would have had I not done all the mindset work. And I know we were laughing the other day when my house was flooding, and I was like, I messaged you the next day, and I was like, well, you know, there's some positive things about this, and
the water was pouring down your stairs. Yeah. Oh, God.
And I don't think I would have dealt with it, honestly, in the same way a year ago. So I definitely understand that life is happening for me. And I think that realization just sort of calms the soul a little bit. And even though you will have challenges and difficult times, I'm really comforted knowing that through every challenge there's a gift and a lesson to be learned, and that with the right mindset you can really achieve anything, and so it's just given me that extra motivation and resilience and that foundation to make the most of the body, and make the most of the business goals that I have.
Yeah, and that's, it was amazing the way you did deal with that. And I have to hasten to add that we weren't laughing at her plight; we were laughing with her at the fact that she was so calm about it when she sent me these videos. It's in West London; the water was pouring down the stairs. But yeah, these things are sent to try us, and I love to think that the universe is sort of making these things happen to take us to the next step. And we look back and we think, that was a pivotal moment. We didn't enjoy it, but it led us to where we wanted to be. And so the answer will come about that at a later date. But I think, like you say, mindset is so important for us to deal with challenges, but it's also really important to keep us on track with our body as well, because I'm sure everybody has had experiences where they've tried programs, tried, workout regimes, new diets, and then it's worked a bit and then they're not been able to stick to it. And having the mindset in place helps you to stick to it, and then you start to see results, and when you see results you want to do it more, and it's that great positive cycle you get into. But so we cover the body at the beginning of the program, then we do mindset, and once we've got those two foundations in place, that's when we go to business. And obviously everybody's business situation is specific to them, it's individual, and some people are in, big corporate positions as you are, and others own their business. And so we try to make that bit as bespoke as we possibly can. Obviously, it's more confidential as well, so we try to protect everybody's confidentiality about their own position, but we make it bespoke. And so that's what we tried to do with you, Ariel. And I think, I was very pleased with the result that you got, and I know you were as well, because, starting a job, even when you're very, very competent, and obviously you've got the job anyway, before you joined YBMB, but, navigating all of that, as you said, was going to be a challenge for anybody. But not only have you navigated it, but, you've relished it, and you're a thought leader in your industry. I see your posts on LinkedIn. Anybody who wants to follow Ariel will be able to see that. It's amazing to watch, and the confidence that you have in that role now, and the clients that you've worked with and everything. So I don't know if you have any other, it's obvious for anyone to see just how well you've done. And you're going to go on from strength to strength. But I think the mindset and having the strength in your body as well helps you with those things, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. I mean, I know it sounds a bit weird, but, when you feel good about yourself and you like your clothes, or you've got that sort of power look that you want for, you just walk into a room with a different air about you. And I think that says a lot, particularly for a woman who walks into a room with lots of men. So I think, to go in feeling strong, feeling, confident, has been great, even on a screen in most cases, but now increasingly in a room. And I think the other thing that, two other things that really come out of the mindset piece for me is this sort of clarity around purpose and just having that extra focus, because you sort of know, you're clear on your goals, both life goals and business goals and body goals and whatever. But it's helped me kind of be a bit more strategic about what I focus on to sort of deliver that. So whilst the sort of overall business plan was there, I've done a lot of work behind that. I think what's been really helpful with the mindset piece is just really identifying where am I going to get maximum impact in the time that I need to in my new role, and then how having that sort of mind, sort of through the focus, and also I think again, when you think things are difficult, once you know your overall goal, where you're trying to get to, it just makes navigating the challenge a little bit easier. And there's certainly been a number of those in the past year.
Yeah. And so having your why is, I know lots of people say it and it sounds a bit cliche, but it's so important, no matter what you're doing, whether you're running a business or, you're running a department, or you're in a new job, having a bigger why, rather than just, getting through the day or, sort of getting today's tasks done, knowing how it fits into your bigger picture. And for you, obviously, you are, like I say, you're a thought leader, and I know you one of your missions is to really help younger women who are sort of coming up the ranks, following in your footsteps, and to help them as well. So I think it's amazing really that you can have a sort of what I call the ripple effect. So, you know, the benefits of this program are so nice because it's not just us as individuals, it's the people we work with on a day-to-day basis, the things that we learn that we can share. Sometimes, you know, you share something you don't even know it's making such an impact until that person comes back to you sort of maybe months or years later and tells you. So yeah, so I know you've definitely been sort of spreading the word as you are today, and it's not from a promotional perspective, but it's sort of wanting to get people to see their potential just as we've discovered our own potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lost you again. You're still there? Can you hear me all right? Oh, I think we need to get Ariel back. I can't hear her.
We did a Zoom back in October, and it'd been a while since I can still hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Now it just popped out and then it
can
popped
you hear
in.
Me?
So, yeah, we can. Yeah, you're frozen on my screen, but I can hear you okay.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, no probs. I just can't see you. Can you see Ariel okay?
She's frozen on my end.
She might have to go out and come in again. I'm not sure.
Angela, can just continue. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll keep on going. Hopefully, I'll pop back up in a minute. But
yeah, got you now.
Okay. If you can hear me, I'll keep on going, and then hopefully the video will come back.
Yep. Well, I can hear you again now, so that's good. Can you, Sabrine?
No, I can't hear. She keeps going in and out. But if you continue, and then when she comes in, oh, that's better. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you. Yeah. Good.
Can you hear me and see me?
I can see you, but it's frozen, so probably just a week.
Okay. Can you hear me now? I'll keep on going if you can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We can hear you.
Yeah. So I think it'll come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think two things really. So it made me spoken for a while, and we did a Zoom together in October, and she just saw how much weight I had lost. I've lost 22 kilos on the program as a whole, and I'm sort of midway through at this point. And she said she just started, you know, doing her own weight training and, you know, doing her own sort of changes, and, you know, kept periodically sending me pictures and things on WhatsApp. And, you know, lo and behold, she's had her own transformation. And she said, it was when I saw you, I just realized it, you know, I could do this too. And I think that's the nice thing, that, you know, I'm just an ordinary person really. And that, you know, the fact that I'm also busy and in this crazy corporate space, you know, and a mum, that actually, you know, and I was able to achieve the results I have been able to achieve, you know, just you know, resonated. And I guess the other thing I just mentioned is I've also just become so much more happy as a mum. It's something I've sort of really struggled with, and you know, had a bit of postnatal depression as well, and it was just the fact that I was able to lose my baby fat, you know, really grab some time back for myself, make self-care a non-negotiable line in the sand for me, in terms of the time I make for myself, where it sits on my to-do list, and that it, you know, making it clear also to my partner that that's something I need his support, and allowing me to have the time and space to accommodate, is really just helped me to kick postnatal depression in the butt. And I think that has been real, I think one of the blessings, you know, in terms of just how I interact with my son, and, you know, how much more present I am. And we are super, super close, and we have so much fun together. And yeah, I think that's, you know, I'm really, really glad that I'm not missing out on this really amazing time.
Oh, that's lovely. I mean, he's a little delight, isn't he? He's so cute, and I've seen him lots. So you know, that's the other benefit of working out from home. I've seen him very often in your gym, and you know, jumping all over you when you're doing your workout, and it hasn't stopped you still. So so that's fab. You know, we have to be able to fit these things into our life. And I mean, you know, my message is always that this is our one and only vehicle. And so, yeah, we have to make it non-negotiable, that we have to do this self-care. And, you know, self-care is not just all about lighting candles and sort of sitting in bubble baths. It's about, you know, getting ourselves to bed on time, making sure we nourish our body properly, you know, giving ourselves time to just do a bit of meditation first thing and choose what happens in the day, rather than letting the day sort of just, you know, because if we don't manage our time, then basically it gets managed for us and we just jump to other people's tune, really. And so, you know, it's a critical part of the whole picture. And I suppose the final bit to talk about is sort of the lifestyle part, the fun part, that, you know, we talked about outfits, grooming, hair, makeup, all things like that, you know, so because I love to sort of complete the whole package. You know, I always think when people sort of go in wanting to, they say to me things like, you know, oh, do you have Botox? What creams do you use? You know, what's that thing about that bulletproof coffee? I mean, all of these things are, you know, superficial things. They're sort of like the little tiny bits that give you maybe a little bit of an edge, but it's all the fundamentals really that make the difference. And then when you can tick all the boxes to the fundamentals, you can go off and do all the other fun things, like, you know, as I say, having a new look at your style, or learning how to pose in front of a camera, you know, and getting some amazing pictures, which you did. We had a fabulous photo shoot. You got some stunning images, but all of those are sort of come after. And it's like, I always think about it as building a house. You know, you've got to get the foundations right and all of the services and everything, and then you can dress the house looking amazing. You know, in terms of sort of that analogy, looking at sort of outfits, as I think I said to you, you know, no outfit can ever beat an amazing body, an amazing fit, strong, athletic body. And I know you agree with that. But having said that, when you do hit your goal with your body and you do feel more confident and calm and, you know, just basically in control, you can have such fun with all of that other stuff, with all of your outfits. And you've tried a few other things as well, haven't you? Like cryotherapy and things like that. So tell us a little bit about that side of things.
Yeah, no, I love that, all of it. And in a way, I really truly believe that the beauty on the outside has to start within, just as you've just said, really. And I think when you're sleeping better, you have a better mindset, you're generally happier, you're clear on where you want to get to, you're enjoying the day-to-day more, not so fixated on the end goal, which is a little bit of something that I'm guilty of. And you know, you're transforming your body. You know, I barely put on makeup anymore. I just kind of walk out of the house, and anything I choose in that closet looks nice on me now. And I'd never been able to do that before, you know, and I really like that. And I've been inspired to look into different things, you know, like cryotherapy, which, you know, I'm really into at the moment. And just again, how to and also the biohacking that we've kind of really delved into a lot on the program, you know, just things that you can do to really enhance your well-being. And I think that's been one of the real takeaways for me, that the beauty of well-being beats any kind of makeup or expensive outfit.
Yeah, it really does. And, you know, some of the other things that we've done as well, as you say, is biohacking, but, you know, we have delved into some of the more sort of forward-thinking strategies for longevity. We've also looked at, we had a whole season on relationships. We've done a lot on manifestation and all the different theories and practices behind manifestation. We even had a little look at astrology. So once you get those fundamentals, then all of the rest of it is, I think it's a bit like putting another teaspoon of salt into the sea, but you have to get the fundamentals done first, and then everything else adds up to give you the edge. So, and you're living proof of all of those things. They've all come together beautifully. So congratulations to you. And thank you so much for, you know, just being such a wonderful person to work with, because you did it at your own pace, and you're always volunteering, you know, well, I've tried this and I've looked at that, and how about this book? So it very much was a two-way, and it's been such an enjoyable time so far. And I know we'll carry on working together in various different capacities. But what's next for you, Ariel? What's your plan for the next year?
Yeah, I think it's really just consistency. So now I feel like I've got my system. I'm really clear on my goals, both body, life, and business. And really, it's just about implementing that system that we've worked hard together to sort of find one that was sort of tailored to me that works, and then I know that I can be consistent and continue with. But I think possibly most importantly is that I really embrace the journey. And whilst I am quite goal oriented and want to climb that mountain even higher to reach the next peak, but just really be more present and just enjoy the everyday. So I just want to be in that constant, live in that constant state, beautiful mind, as Tony says, or a state of joy and stuff. So I really am looking forward to kind of that, focusing on that and implementing. And I've learned so much, and I say it to everyone as well, that the world of, I think, personal development can be a little bit overwhelming if you're new to it, because there's just so much, and then you don't know who to kind of listen to or who to follow or anything like that. And I think what was really helpful for me with the program was that we got sort of bite-sized so snippets of some of the key things through you, and it's like you went out, did the research, and then kind of came back and, well, here's the 5 things that you need to know from this week-long seminar I just attended. And so I thought that was super helpful, and anything that as I said resonated or felt, oh, I really want to do a deeper dive on that, then we could go off and find more podcasts and books and all that kind of stuff. And yes, there's a little bit more sometimes of a two-way process of sort of sharing different materials with each other. So no, I thank you for everything you've taught me, for your whole team. You guys have been an absolute delight to work with, and I think equipped us all with the tools that we need to sort of manifest our dreams and achieve our goals. And for that, I will forever ever be grateful. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And any final advice for anybody if they're thinking, wow, she looks great, wow, that seems like a lot to do, and oh my goodness, I'd love to, but I don't think I can, because I speak to a lot of people and they think that, and if you think back to that time when you and I first did our first one-to-one, and you were sitting there in your kitchen, your lovely kitchen that wasn't flooded, and we were having a chat, and I think if I'd have told you then, if I'd have shown you the you then, you probably wouldn't have believed it. And so there'll be lots of people sitting there now in that sort of equivalent. And what would you say to them?
I would just say, get over thinking that there's some magic pill you can take to change overnight. I think looking and feeling good and doing well in your career is an effort and is a way of life, and that takes time to implement. So trust the system. Your system works, and then apply the consistency. So it probably took me a good couple of weeks even just to get hang of how to work with MyFitnessPal and all that kind of stuff. But once you find that system, and then there are certain things I had to tweak, from my lifestyle, the fact that I was abroad and different timings and all that kind of stuff. But once you find that system that works for you, it's really, really easy afterwards, and the results are staggering. And it's not just been in my case, but for the whole group. So I'm not a one-hit wonder, but it's really been across the board. So just I guess I would say is, keep at it, be consistent, stay with it, give it time. And if you think you don't have the time, it's because you're not willing to make the time. So be honest with yourself and tell yourself that you're worth prioritizing.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's a really great way to end things. And I know you're in the office now, so thank you for giving us that time and sharing your experience. And I'm sure that others will look at it and find it really inspiring, just as I have. So thanks, Ariel, and I will talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Speak to you soon. Bye, Angela.
Take care.